Hey y'all, what's going on? This is your boy Juro. I'm getting ready to start my day. I got my errands I gotta run, but I wanted to take this time to put some stuff out there for my kings and queens. For some of you who do not know me, first of all, welcome to my channel, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to hear the message given by the Spirit. I refer to the Holy Spirit, that is. October 2011, I made a choice to submit to, bottom line, to have a relationship with my Lord Jesus Christ. And with that being said, I decided to chronicle my spiritual evolution into the man I'm destined to become. So how you guys doing today? Doing okay? Your week going alright? I hope so. It's a beautiful week, Spring is full effect. Can you believe it's 16 May 2013? We are halfway through May. You blink twice, the children are going to be out for summer, and you're going to be right up in there, barbecues and positivity. However, because I love each and every one of you, and I want you guys to have your blessings and always stay protected, I have to put some food for thought on your mind. I was reading an article. I gotta find where I saw it at, and I know that there's some chatter on YouTube regarding this as well. And I just want to throw this out there because my queens, I don't know if you know this, but everything that you see in the media, everything that you read on the net, it is not accurate. It is there to sway public opinion. And it is very important that you use your discernment so that you don't get caught up in the snares and pitfalls placed to distract you from your destiny. Please discern. Please do so. Okay, now you're probably wondering, what are you leading up to? I'm gonna try to be PC about it as best I can, but I've gotta give it to you straight talk, no chaser. And here it is. The article I read, there is a new trend in the female community or shall I say, there's an ideology that women are opting to openly date multiple men to keep your options open. Society is trying to convey this message of condonement. My queens, I want to let you know something. If you embrace that choice, you are going to allow yourself to be entrapped. You say, well, the guys do it all the time. Yes, guys do that all the time, and guess what? They never get the outcome that they seek because they're choosing to walk by sight and not by faith. And anytime that you walk by sight and not by faith, you never receive the things that you need because you're guided by the things you want. Now, Steve Harvey, I'm very proud of this man. As some of you went out and bought his book, Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady. But even with that book that was written, the interpretation was miscued. See, ladies, Steve wrote that book so you can be empowered and not caught up. But unfortunately, society has convinced you to change your mindset to try to think like a man and do exactly what men do. You're not supposed to do that. You probably say, well, Gerald, I can do whatever I want. Well, let's go back a little bit in time, shall we? Do you remember when Steve Harvey was part of the Kings of Comedy? And as he was emceeing, he was also intertwining his set amongst all the comedic legends that performed that night. But what he also did is he conveyed a message. Do you remember when he was talking about how some women, because they do not see their worth or value, they will opt to have more than one man? And he indicated 5. 1, he's the guy that's good with his hands. You can call him up, he'll fix it, he'll be Johnny on the spot. You've got number 2, the guy that's great with kids. He knows that if he can win your kids over, he can win your favor. Number 3, you got the spender. He knows that if he uses his resources and appeases you, he'll also win your favor. However, you don't realize he's paying for you and he knows your price. Number 4, you have the gay man. He likes to talk. So when you want to vent, when your day is not going right, you can confide in him as a man and still feel safe to emotionally release what bothers you, because you don't see him as a threat. He won't be coming after your cookies. And then you have Mandingo, Horace. He ain't got time of day. You just call him up and he's there to wax on, wax off. But how he operates is he doesn't respect you. He's just there to beat it up. And after the job is done, he's out. But he also operates like this. He knows that you enjoy what he does. And for you to have access to him, you must compromise yourself. So, all these 5 dimensions of men, if you actually took the time to see your worth and see how special that you truly are, how uniquely you are, you can have that one that has all those dynamics. The communicator, the provider, the protector, the one that's applicable with his hands, the analytical one, and of course, the lover. You know how you can have that one? Because that person knows who they are. They know their worth, and they know their value. And they exist. That is actually the definition of a good man. We exist. Now, on the flip side of that, I read this article, and this article was trying to convey the message of, if you open yourself to more or less having options to choose, you won't get henpegged in one dynamic. one focus. Well, let me ask you this. If you turn around and put your energy in all those dynamics, all those personalities, where's the energy left for you? How are you able to function? You can't go from A to B, B to C, C to D, D back to A, and then F. What energy does that leave you? What is the gain? What is the end resolution? What is it? Think of it this way. If your life was represented like a candle, like this candle, right? You know, you can take one candle, sit it down, and it will illuminate that area that light can fill. But if you take that same source, that same candle, and do like this, moving it around all the time, not only do you risk burning it out, but it stays dim, which causes you an opportunity to overlook something that you should see. Your discernment. And hold on. Sorry about that. So, society is trying to condone this message that, hey, sow your oats, spread yourself out. But if you realize if you spread yourself out, you spread yourself out too thin. And what will happen with that is, it will affect you mentally, physically, and emotionally. How can you be true to yourself if you don't make time for yourself? That's where your virtue comes into play. Also, let's flip it for the guys, my kings. I know, brother. I know, my guys. Everybody wants a companion, but it's your responsibility to do what's required to define who you are. That is why integrity and character is very, very important. You define your own legacy. It is not, your legacy does not just fall on your lap and this is, no. It don't work like that. That is why the title of being called a man compared to a boy. Because a man, a true man, will use his insight through his experiences to gauge his wisdom and navigate his life. How many times have you tried to, we've all been there, tried to spread yourself thin, and then the next thing you know, you're like, well, I left out the house and I was limping, and I walked back in the house and there's nothing left. What's left for you? Look at your self-respect. Look at your self-worth. If you truly love yourself, stop playing with yourself. You've got to do that. It's very, very imperative. You got society saying that polyamorous relationships are healthy. Okay, let's break that down. So you're telling me that it is best to have an open relationship than a commitment. Come on now. Don't you want someone that's going to be able to not only grow with you, but is going to be there? That's what a covenant's all about. A covenant is basically saying, through it all, if you should call upon me, I am there. I value your worth that much. I hear your call because you see the uniqueness in that bond. Now, on a flip side, let's talk spirituality. God, your higher power, wants you to have a covenant with Him. He wants to give you the life that you deserve. But He cannot give you that unless you receive Him. It is not His responsibility to seek you. It is your responsibility to seek Him. And when you do, not only will you have a totally different reality, but all jagged edges will be made smooth. Don't you deserve that? To be able to go home and lay your head on the bed and be at peace, have a good night's sleep. You deserve that. Now, here's the uglier truth. Did you guys know, they're kind of keeping it hush, but they're slowly but surely leaking it. Did you guys know that there is a super strain of gonorrhea that is out now that has the traits of AIDS? They've had a lot of cases. I don't want to use the word outbreak, but they've had a lot of cases documented with the CDC out of Hawaii. One of the telltale signs is your teeth. Your teeth will rot out. Your genealogy, your body literally falls apart. You more or less go through this period of rotting, and it attacks your immune system so intensely that they don't have anything out there that can combat this form of gonorrhea. Now, I mean, that tripped me out right there. Gonorrhea. First of all, you gotta have unprotected sex to contract it, for the most part. Of course, open wounds, any way that it can infiltrate the body through the skin. But for those that are, they embrace oral sex, well, it's getting in. It infiltrates through your gums. So if you have any breaks in your gums, any cuts in your gums, it gets in that way, and it has a very inconspicuous, way that you won't even know that you got it. Not like how gonorrhea will have its signs. It doesn't work that way. It lays there for a second and then it attacks and accelerates your whole structure, your whole physical structure until there's nothing left. Some cases has been documented of necrosis. Necrosis is like, for those who don't know what that is when the muscle tissue is damaged by decay. You see that in spider bites and venomous bites. You see that. Sometimes also necrosis can be contributed through contributing MRSA and severe staph infections. Now the body already has a staph trait, but it doesn't affect you because of our white blood cells that are under the skin level. So, it just made me think, if you spreading yourself thin, you setting yourself to be done in. My queens, know that you are special. Now, first and foremost, it's your life. You have to make a choice that you want to live in peace. I'm thinking about it right now, in spirit, right now. And this one just came to my mind right now. Have you realized it's been 3 to almost 4 generations since, at least 3 generations since our culture has had a medical, something medically to bang the drum at. Think about when HIV jumped on the scene and how much awareness came about. And look at how much attention it has now compared to the 80s. You know, that's a span over 20 years. But then even, you know, HIV and AIDS, we have so much education and awareness out there that there's still an unsavvy, I don't want to use the word lackadaisical, but it's like we're getting too comfortable in our behaviors. We're getting too comfortable. But if you allow yourself to be in that company, you really maybe open the door to something that you know what I mean? So, not to ramble, my queens, number one, your body is your temple. Make sure that those that you choose to open the doors for, they're worth it. Let them see your grace through time. Because the enemy will use anything they can to compromise you. Don't fall for that, my kings. Because it looked good don't mean it is good. Go on over to Walgreens or wherever, get your contraceptives on. Be monogamous. Love yourself, respect yourself. Well, the best, look, hey, I ain't trying to sound like your daddy. Your best form of defense is abstinence. But my queens, see, society is trying to convince you you don't need a man. But in actuality, society should be telling you you don't need a boy. You do need a man. You do need your mate. But let's go back to this thing right here, so I can bring it home. See, that right there? It says, when a man seeks a wife, it is good. It is not in reverse. It's that way for a reason. If you want that protector, that provider, that's going to give you the emotional safety that you desire. Yeah, I'm going to go there. So that you can emotionally feel free and bare your soul. Then you wait on him. Wait on him. And God will send him to you. But if you choose to navigate your life to find that person, I hate to tell you this, all you're going to find is disappointment, heartache, or even worse, health complications that you may have to live with for the rest of your life. You deserve to be the queen, to sit high. Just look at the term queen. You don't see the Queen of England acting a fool. She sits in grace when she's out in public. She ain't even got to say one word, and everybody knows she's there. Because that's the gift that God has given you, as well as nurturement. Everybody knows To have a happy life, you must have a happy wife. That should be the end goal. To be yoked, to have a loving and blessed union. Please do not compromise yourself. If you think I'm lying, why is it when you go out to the club, you have more women than you do men? Why? Because a lot of them don't love themselves, and they're taking nature, they're taking their own course actions for an end result. A man that does not want them, that does not see their worth. I think you deserve to have the man that you should have in your life, and he should be able to give you what you need, not what you want. And worse, my queens, if there's some queens out here, listen, leave that sugar daddy game alone. If that man was so extraordinary, why wouldn't he have a woman that's equally his own age? Why? You ever thought about that? I'll tell you why. So he can control you by physical or monetary means. In other words, he wants to keep you deaf, dumb, and blind. And if he could, he'd keep you butt naked and in the kitchen. Ain't nobody got time for that. You don't deserve that. Respect yourself. Love yourself. Heal yourself. Be the diamond that God has placed you on this earth to be. If you got a whole space for you to have the things you want, then you do the work. If you do the work and stay pure, you will get the result. Remember, sweetie, prayers must go up so blessings can come down. Don't you think you deserve that? So stop chasing those dragon tails out there. They're there to block you from the man that is trying to be in your life. He can't get to you if you're not walking the walk. And I think you guys deserve it. And this goes to you, my kings. Don't fall for it. Don't. Be the man that you know you are in your heart. Do the work. And if you do the work, you'll get the result that you want. It takes time. You can't rush a good glass of wine. So why are you settling for a cheap glass of liquor? Be the exception to the rule and not a candle in the wind. God loves you. I'm praying for you. That's a good synchronicity song right there. Someone to love. But you start by loving yourself first. Be blessed, sweet. Have a blessed day. Bye.